Hi everyone! So following my last video where I was talking about audiobooks, I'm now going to talk about the other big passion in my life, which are radio plays. Now, there's one thing that really frustrates me about radio plays, and that is no matter what store you're in, even online or whatever, radio plays or iTunes and that, radio plays always get classed under audiobooks. Always, when they aren't audiobooks. They're dramatizations of various, stories or adaptations of books, but for the radio. They're not audiobooks. Audiobooks is somebody reading off the page. So that's a pet peeve of mine. That is just the classification of radio plays. Oh, it annoys me. But I have found that I have so many radio plays that I have actually got two playlists on my iPod. I've got the comedies and I've got the dramas. So this time we're going to be talking about comedy radio plays. Now, I love having a laugh. I love listening to comedy radio plays. And I have to say, the reason why I love it so much is that sometimes you just need something that gives you a bit of a lift. And if you've got like a half hour just to listen to something that'll make you smile, that'll, if I'm, at work, we're able to listen to music if we're, really focusing on something and need to like zone out from all the other noise in our office. So if you're going through like something that's really, I'm really having to focus on something, I'll put a radio play on my iPod and listen to it. And I tend to go to the comedies when I'm in work because it gives me more of a lift, makes me feel good and gets me through what I need to get through. So I absolutely love them, and I've got quite a collection of comedy radio plays. And I'm going to start off with my absolute favourite one. Just as in the audiobook video, I don't know if you've seen it, there are some that I've downloaded, so I have got them, actually I've printed off a picture of them, and obviously the ones where I've got physical CD, I'm going to hold up the CD so you can see what the covers look like if you're interested in downloading them yourself or buying the CDs off. So my absolute number one favourite comedy show that I constantly listen to on my iPod is Cabin Pressure. Now, this stars John Finnemore, Roger Allen, Stephanie Cole, and Benedict Cumberbatch, and is written by John Finnemore here, who plays Arthur. And it's about a very small airline called MGM Air. Is owned by Carolyn, played by Stephanie Cole, and her son Arthur is steward on the plane, and he's not the smartest chap around. He lives with his mum. He's a really quirky character, and I absolutely love him. But you wouldn't, the show wouldn't be the same without him. Carolyn, she's quite stern. She likes to get her own way. She tells the two pilots off quite often. Roger Allen is the second in command. He plays Douglas, and yeah, Doug is. He's very charismatic. He always has the ideas. Everybody believes that he's the captain because he doesn't care. He's very much wanting to get out, get home, do what he wants. And then you got Benedict Cumberbatch here. So he's Martin. He is the pilot. He's the number one guy on the plane, but he always feels that he's second guessing himself. He doesn't feel good enough compared to Douglas. Everybody thinks that Douglas is the captain, and he's not, because he cares so much. He's constantly frantic. He's constantly thinking he has to know absolutely everything. And it's all about all of these adventures that they go on. Every episode is a new location. It's usually in alphabetical order. There's about 27 episodes, as it says at the bottom of the box there, because I bought them as they come out. I downloaded them, but you can buy them in a box set called From A to Z with extra features and everything. And some of them, because they're different countries and they're done in alphabetical order, some of the countries in the original transmission are in a slightly different order than the the alphabetical order because of the story and where they needed to be in that. But for that box set, they've actually put it into alphabetical order. And the last adventure is in Zurich, which was absolutely fantastic. I was really gutted when it ended, but I understood why it needed to end. And John Vinnemore wanted to go on and write other stuff, and the others, the actors, I'm sure, wanted to do other stuff as well. But that is my go-to. If I want cheering up, it's absolutely fantastic. I recommend it to absolutely anyone. Now, the other series that I absolutely love. Sorry, I'm having all of my CDs are on my side again, so I'm having to turn away, just like with the audiobooks, I'm having to turn away to grab them. As a fan of Charles Dickens, I recommend, and anybody else who's a fan of Charles Dickens, or if you're not, because it's be very interesting if you're not a fan of Charles Dickens to listen to this. It's 5 series long. Sorry, all of them are in a double CD box, so they're quite bulky. It's called Bleak Expectations, and it's basically a spoof of the Charles Dickens novels. It follows our main guy here, Mr. Pip Bin, and his sisters Pippa and Poppy Bin, who have discovered they're having a very happy childhood, and then suddenly their father dies and their mother goes mad, and it's all about their adventures and going forward, and they meet all these characters along the way who are spoofs of various characters in Dickens. I especially love Anthony Head, who's our bad guy. He's right there. He is Mr. Gently Benevolent, because obviously gently is nice and benevolently is bad. And there are other characters as well who I actually absolutely love. I love Mr. Parsimonious, the most generous of men. Sorry, I'm getting that wrong. Sorry. Oh, how bad of me. I'm getting my English wrong way around. So yeah, Gently Benevolent is good, but he's pure evil. And then Mr. Parsimonious, which is basically you keep all money, you're quite a horrible man, and he's the most generous of men. So yeah, he's absolutely brilliant. The characters they meet along the way, the spoofs of various Charles Dickens characters, I love. I especially adore the woman that Pip falls in love with, which is a spoof of David Copperfield. Miss Flora dies early, and even characters like the vicar, Mr. Godly Fecund. It's absolutely hysterical. I love Bleak Expectations. I've listened to every single series as it was broadcast. Oh, and also gentleman here is Mr. Harry Biscuit, Pip's best friend, whose family invented the biscuit. It's a really quirky world, but it's so much fun, and I think if you really love Charles Dickens, you'll have more of an appreciation for it. But even if you don't, it's a really quirky world, a spoof of Victorian life and inventions that they came up with and such, and it's fun. So I absolutely love it. Another kind of spoof of various different fantasy dramas, worlds and such, but it's still quite, stands alone as well as not just a spoof, is Elden Quest. Now, this has been running for 4 series. I've only got the first series on CD, the rest I've got downloaded, but literally the picture doesn't change. The only difference is that series 4, the writing of Elden Quest is in green instead of in white. That's the only difference. The picture is exactly the same. So this follows a group of elves, dwarves, and warriors and such who are trying to find the sword of Asmodar, and they come to our world to grab the chosen one, who's going to lead them to the sword of Asmodar to save the world from darkness. The chosen one is a dog called Amos, who is owned by Sam, who's played by Stephen Mangan there. When they come into their world, Amos is transformed into a human. So you've got this human who's acting like a dog and running around, and Sam is a writer, he's a fantasy novelist, so he always feels he's a bit smarter than everybody else, and they don't understand sarcasm and stuff like this. He loves the Princess Warrior of our stories and such. And there's also Lord Darkness, who's played by Alistair McGowan, who's right there, and his his servant Creech, who's right there, and them trying to plot to find the Sword of Asgard before the rest of the group. I really like it. It's a really quirky series. Now, the thing with radio, though, is that it can be a couple of years or more than that between series. So series 4 is aired, and as far as I know, they're thinking about doing a 5th series, but nothing's been heard of. And that was a year or so ago. So, hopefully they'll have a new series soon. But I really hope it doesn't just end at series 4, because I really like the adventures. I think they're really great, and the stuff that they come up with, the writers and that they're absolutely fantastic. And as I said, making fun of various fantasy worlds at the same time. It's really fun. Now, the other series that I listen to over and over and over again because I absolutely love it, and I'm going to have to hold it this way because I can't possibly hold it the other way, is Old Harry's Game. Now, this is basically, it's by Andy Hamilton, who plays Satan, and it is Satan running hell. He's rather sarcastic, and he likes to do some really awful things to people. And one day he meets a guy who's up here in the corner, just there, the professor who's come to hell, who doesn't believe that it is hell. He thinks he's hallucinating, or it's coma. He's in a coma and he's having a weird dream, and it's he's very theological. He wants to understand things. He keeps on trying to break Satan down and say, oh no, that isn't possibly real, it's this, that and the other. And the only reason why he's in hell is because he doesn't believe in God, because he has very philosophical theories about God, so he's not allowed into heaven. That's why the Satan has to deal with him. But it develops into a really interesting friendship as time goes on. Now, this has been going on for, I think, just 7 series. They also did 2 Christmas specials, and they did 2 episodes in 2012 for the London Olympics, but they haven't done any more since then. But saying that, as I said, you can have many years between series. The first series of Old Harry's Game began in like 1990 or something, so you've had 7 series since 1990. So it's not saying, it's not good enough to be around about it, but it's nice when you have these things come back to life again. So you never know, we might be having another series of Old Harry's Game. I really hope so, just as I hope so with Elden Quest. So Kevin Pesher, Elden Quest, Old Harry's Game, and Bleak Expectations are like my top 4 radio comedy to listen to. I absolutely love them. And the top 5, because obviously I need a 5th, is the amazing Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I love this. As you can see, I bought the very special collector's box set of all of them there. So the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a Douglas Booth novel. Well, he actually did. It was about 4 or 5 books in the end, which were adapted by the BBC, and they it follows a guy who is picked up on Earth. He's got a good friend. His house is about to be demolished, and it turns out the Earth is actually about to be destroyed. And his friend finds him, and they hitch a ride onto a spaceship. And that's when he realises that his friend is not actually human. And it follows them through all these crazy adventures that they have in space, and the characters that they meet along the way. So sorry, I didn't say the main character is Arthur Dent. I forgot to say that. So it follows all the way through the various books that Douglas Adams wrote, and it's so much fun. It's so quirky. It's really great. And as Hitchhikers Guide to the Galaxy has on the back, don't panic. So yeah, so if you're ever in trouble, don't panic. Grab the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and it will lead you to where you need to go. So it's so much fun. I absolutely love it. You know, thinking about it, just now I've just realised that probably nearly every single radio play that I have, and certainly in this section playlist, are all from the BBC. Now I don't know if that's just because the BBC are awesome doing radio plays, or if it's just a case of I just haven't gone beyond the realm of BBC. As I'm lucky, you know, I live in the UK. I'm able to listen to these audiobooks and have access to these radio plays and the audiobooks I have as well. I'm able to access them whenever I want to listen to, and I'm sure other countries may not be able to, but if you are able to get a hold of any BBC radio plays, I strongly recommend them. They're absolutely amazing. Now, there are other ones that I have from the BBC, which are actually the audio from BBC comedies, just literally the audio stripped TV show. They've stripped the audio from it and stuck it on a CD. And those ones I have are Blackadder, the complete collection, Fawlty Towers, the complete collection, and the complete collection of Dinner Ladies. All of them are absolutely amazing. Obviously, there's going to be visual gags which you can't see because because you know you're listening to the audio, but because I've listened to all of them so many times, and I've seen the actual physical episodes on TV and DVD and that so many times, I know exactly what is going on at every single point. I mean, I could read off scripts right now of any episode of Fawlty Towers, Blackadder or Dinner Ladies, but I still giggle every time. I still laugh. I think they're brilliant. So yeah, there's all those are absolutely amazing. I also have my Victoria Woods. Now, she wrote and starred in Dinner Ladies. Dropped Dinner Ladies too, how badly. She's right there in the middle, it's Victoria Wood. And she also, you know, sadly she passed away this year. I was absolutely gutted when she died. She had cancer, sadly. But I also have 3 of her live shows on my iPod. And they are Victoria Wood Live, Victoria at the Albert Live, and An Audience with Victoria Wood. All 3 of these are absolutely fabulous. She had such a talent for making anything funny and very much picking on the ordinary and making it amazing. And I think she was wonderful, and it always makes me laugh when, you know, whenever I listen to any or watch any of her programs or any of the films that she was involved with, films for TV, I mean, that she was involved with. Like that Day We Sang was the last thing that she did, and it was extraordinary. I loved it. So, you know, it's very devastating that she's no longer with us, but at least we've got the treasures that she left behind that will always make me laugh, always make everybody laugh. And so, you know, I've got those 3 on my iPod and I listen to them quite often. Like I especially love, you know, the Victoria and Albert one where she makes jokes like the show is called At It Again. And she said how the big banner behind her saying At It Again, and she said, oh, it had to be sent back twice. First time they got the spelling wrong, second time they got the spacing wrong, it came to us saying At It Again. You know, it's you know, little things like that. It's just, you know, she was absolutely wonderful, and her songs were so funny. Those, you know, those 3 have got some amazing songs to them. I especially love Pam song from Victoria Wood Live, and Let's Do It from An Audience with Victoria Wood. So yeah, if you're able to listen to any of those are on YouTube. You can find them. There's so many videos of those songs. Then I recommend those. Now I've got 4 left to go. I'm doing rather well, 18 minutes. I'm doing a lot shorter than my audiobook one, so this is going good. Okay, so the first one, going from one funny woman to another funny woman, Miranda Hart's Joke Shop. Now, Miranda Hart she had done, you know, various film festivals, like Edinburgh festivals and such, of comedies and that. She got picked to do a radio show called Miranda Hart's Joke Shop, which was 4 episodes. That then got picked up for TV, which became the huge, phenomenal success Miranda, which ran for, I think it was 3 or 4 series. Or was it 3 series and Christmas special? I can't remember. But anyway, and obviously that's led on to her for writing books and doing various other dramas. She's done, you know, tremendously well. She's done a tour as well. But this is where it started. It's only 4 episodes long, but it's the same cast as Miranda, but in Miranda Hart's on radio is Miranda Hart's Joke Shop. So there are a lot of jokes in it which are all in, you know, the TV series Miranda, but there are a couple of things which which work so well on radio because you can't see it. The kick is when you're told a description of what's going on, and it really is really funny. So yeah, I recommend Miranda Hart's Joke Shop. It is really great. The only thing that they changed, you could say, was that Gary's surname was changed. I can't remember. Oh gosh, what's his surname in the TV series? But he's Gary Rutter in the radio show. That's it. Everything else, the characters, the way they are, it's the. Oh no, sorry. I got something wrong. In the radio show, Stevie is married as well. She only makes reference to it a couple of times though. So I wonder if because of that, that's why they decided to make a single in the TV show instead. But yeah, she is married as well. So there's only 2 things that are different. Sorry, but they're only minimal things, so not very. Going back to spoofs of fantasy. Sorry, I missed that with Elden Quest. I also have BBC did a comedy, which is a spoof of the Lord of the Rings. But it's not Lord of the Rings, the audiobook, like I mentioned. In the audiobook one, it's Hoard of the Things. So this has got, again, it's a variety of various spoofs of the Lord of the Rings. It's one of those things, and if you like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you'll really like Elden Quest, and you'll like this. I think it's really quirky. It's fun. It's making fun of a world, but still it's taking you on an adventure. It's I really like it. You have the actual world is got a different name. It's not Middle Earth. It's various other things. In this one, it's Albion, which is obviously the Arthurian land, and they want to. They've got a band of people wanting to save the world. So that is an original comedy from the BBC, spoofing Lord of the Rings, called Hoard of the Rings. The one before last one here I've got is also a spoof, and it's Bloomsbury. Now this is something that's relatively new. I quite like it. It's a bit quirky. Sometimes, even though it is a comedy, I don't necessarily laugh at it, but I get the references, and I've still stuck along with it. It's I think it's 3 series. Series 1 to 3, and it's basically a spoof of the Bloomsbury group, who are very open. These group of men and women who about art and literature and science and all that lot, who are very open to sleep with each other no matter what their sex. Have affairs behind people's backs, drink, do drugs, smoke, all that lot. Paint and all that. So and this is a comedy that's spoof of the Bloomsbury group, and it's absolutely brilliant. Miriam Margolyes and Alison Steadman, those two there. She's like, ooh, bring a feather. Yeah, Miriam Margolyes and Alison Steadman especially are very, very good in it. I like it. I think it's a quirky series. As I said, not necessarily always funny, but I enjoy it. I still I've listened to it multiple times, so I must therefore be a fan of it. And the very last one that I have here is something that I can remember my mum listening to when I actually bought her a tape version of the first, I think it was either just the first or the first two series, but I quite liked it, and it's only recently that I've got back into it and I downloaded all of them off iTunes, and that is The Ladies of Letters. Now, it was 11, like 10 or 11 series or something, but each series is only about 2 hours or something long. They're not very long at all, and it basically follows these two friends who are pen pals, and it's them writing back and forth to each other. So you could say that it's an audio book because it's two people just, they're reading letters to each other or emails as time goes on the line, because they realise, computers are coming in, so therefore, they need to emails and such. But then it is a radio play because it's not an audio book. There's not actual printed book available. It is somebody who's written these, as a comedy series for BBC Radio. So it is a radio play. So Patricia Routledge, sorry, and Prunella Scales are our main actors. I'll show you a larger picture because that one's quite small. So that's Patricia Routledge and that's Prunella Scales, and they play our two leading ladies. Now, Patricia Routledge retired just before the last series was commissioned, so instead she was replaced by Anne Reid. But as I said, it's only the last series that Anne Reid plays is within this, and it follows their weird, quirky adventures from having, losing money to starting businesses, to having their daughters having, insane problems. Their sons also, love affairs. They're going into business together. It not working. All of these weird and wonderful things, trips overseas, and it's so quirky, so much fun, so weird and wonderful. You really get to know a lot of the characters. The children and such are referred to quite often in this, and as time goes on, they actually have got other actors to play these characters because they start writing letters to the various women as well. So you get to know the daughters and the sons and such quite distinctly. As time goes on, it's not just the two ladies all the time. So yeah, you get this wonderful array of characters that are absolutely amazing. I love them. I think they're absolutely awesome, and they're always fun to listen to. Okay, so that ends the radio play comedy section. Now next, I'm going to be going over to the radio play drama section, which is a lot bigger, so it might take over half an hour for me to go through those ones, kind of like my audiobooks. But that's going to be a separate video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you've got any questions, or if there are any comedy radio plays that you know of and you want to tell me about, please feel free to. You can use the comment box below, or if you want to show how you think of these another way, you can give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, entirely up to you. I'd love to know if you've listened to any of these, what you think of them as well. And if you've got any questions, feel free to throw them my way, and I'll reply to you either via comment or private message, and I'll reply to you and let you know answers to your questions. All right then, bye.